Good evening and welcome to Be Inspired with Pepe Minambo, your inspirational show for personal, career and business development. This show is all about motion, progress, growth and development. And tonight we're introducing a new section, a new segment on Ask Pepe. You know, these frequently asked questions. People ask questions all the time and everywhere. Many years back, I read a book by John C. Maxwell titled, Good Leaders Ask Great Questions. And he said, good questions inform, but great questions transform. And tonight, I'm introducing a new segment on the show, Ask Pepe. And I've got a co-host, and I've got Christine Mebona Miro with me, just to ask questions on behalf of many, many people out there. Because this show is about coaching and mentorship. So over to you, Mebo. What do we have tonight?
Thank you so much, Pepe. I am happy, very happy to be part of this show and be asking Pepe the questions that everyone else would be asking themselves. Today, we would like to start with career growth.
Okay.
You will agree with me, world over, everyone is talking about career growth. But if I may ask, what does career growth look like?
Well, I think as human beings, we are born to move forward. In fact, someone told me, look at how kids come out of a pregnant mother. They come forward.
Yeah.
So we are meant to live forward. We are meant to exist forward.
Yeah.
So career growth simply means I start my career from one level, then over time I move to the next level, and next level, and next level.
Yeah.
And you have people that begin career as, let's say, a store clerk.
Yeah.
Then over time they become a messenger.
Yeah.
Then they move in, become a supervisor.
Yeah.
And then after some time they become an assistant manager,
Yeah.
then a manager, then maybe a regional manager, and then a general manager, and eventually they could go to the highest level in the organization to become CEO or chairman of an organization. So that person has achieved career growth. The opposite is also true.
Yeah.
There are people that join as messengers or drivers, and they retire as messengers or drivers. So the opposite of growth is just being stuck somewhere. Yeah.
Very interesting. So right there, you just talked about some people growing from being a stores person to being a clerk to being an assistant manager to eventually being the CEO of the organization, and then other people getting stuck into, like they joined as a driver, and 25 years down the road they're still a driver. So what are those common mistakes that young professionals make on their career journey that keeps them stunted or that doesn't allow them to grow the way they should grow?
Well, there's a common saying in corporate corridors that don't make career limiting moves. Okay. The truth of the matter is a lot of people make career limiting moves, either knowingly or unknowingly.
Yeah.
One of those moves are you come in as a new graduate, so motivated, passionate, excited by your first salary, excited to have, you know, your, or you still remember your first salary. So, and you want to impress everybody.
Yes.
You want to impress everybody you found there.
Yeah.
There's a book by Robert Greene, The 48 Laws of Power. One of the laws, or the first law of power, is never outshine the master. Never outdo the master. So you come to a workplace, there is a supervisor, there is a manager, there is an in-charge. But the in-charge may not be as qualified as you are.
Exactly.
They may not be as sharp as you are.
Yeah.
You come with all your brilliance, and you want to make sure everybody knows and feels that you are very brilliant.
Exactly.
And then your work become very prominent and every other person looks like a mediocre. That's already a career limiting move.
Exactly.
People will manage you out of the growth path. Wow. So those are some things that young people will do unconsciously.
Yeah.
And then another thing that young people will do is you stick into your job descriptions. So you stick into your KPIs. You do everything that is stipulated in your appointment letter. I've never seen someone really growing by just sticking on their specific KPIs. Everybody I know that grew in their career, they were a bit of, you call them outliers.
Exactly.
They went beyond the fence. They colored outside the lines.
Exactly.
What you say outside the box or something. I say, sticking into what you are paid to do, you stay there for long. To go to the next level, you may need to volunteer to do more than what you are paid to do, and earn the trust of the people that are around you, and eventually you can grow.
And also prove
yes.
that you're able to do.
Absolutely, and their trust. Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so still about career growth. There's something called self-discovery when it comes to career growth. So what I studied at school versus what's available on the job market versus my passion. How am I able to decide which direction to take?
Wow. You may have a web of paradoxes or contradictions there. What you studied, what's available, and what's your passion. Wow. Now, sometimes what you studied is because that's what your family could afford. You wanted something else, but that's the only thing they could afford. Or not that they could afford, but that's what you were given at the university as you were shortlisted. Yes. Then you go out there in the market, whatever you studied, there are no opportunities. You are forced to take something of a lesser importance or lesser interest. Or you got this burning passion, but then there are no opportunities for that thing in you burning. Well, I'll answer this question this way. I'll refer to Stephen Covey, the author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He said the first habit of every highly effective person in any field, either military, medical field, academia, scientific research or financial sector or manufacturing, he said the first effective habit they have is they are proactive. They don't wait for things to happen. They make things happen. They take charge before they are discharged. They act before they are acted upon. And I always tell people, you have 4 categories of people in every workplace. You have number 1, those who make things happen. Whatever I studied, whatever is available, they are not matching. So how do I connect the dots? Whatever I studied, I didn't like. Whatever is available, I don't like, but I got passion. How do I go out there and make something out of nothing? That's how you... These are the kind of people that make things happen. Then number 2, you have those who wait for things to happen. So they let be carried by any, wind and storms and reality. And so, so few people will be outliers. They will stick to what they believe will, because your gifting, your passion gives you more growth opportunities than just a job that you tick the box. People do jobs that they don't like, they earn salary they don't like, and they try to impress people that they don't even admire in their life. So they are stuck, toxic.
Still about career growth. Research shows that 85% of the investment that we make in our career growth is made into technical skills. And only 15% of our investment is made into the soft or people skills.
Yes.
But still, the Harvard Business Review states that with the ongoing trends of AI and disruptive technology, it's highly probable that AI and disruptive technology are going to replace technical skills. And then you'll find that people with soft skills, people with people skills are more valuable than the people with just the technical skills. Let's talk about that.
Well, that is truth. And this truth is inevitable. Years back, like 10, 15 years ago, this thing were in the horizon. I remember almost 15 years ago, I attended a forum in Amsterdam, and they were talking about the world in 2050, mega change. That's 15 years ago. But let me tell you, they were predicting a lot of these AI technology things could be very prominent in 2050, which is what's now about 26 years away. But they've come earlier. Where they talked about the drones, they talked about the self-piloting planes. everything you know about AI today, they were speculating maybe it could happen in 2050. But here it is. The truth of the matter is automation, robotics, you know, augmented reality, and all these pieces of technologies coming together with artificial intelligence will redefine the workplace, will replace a lot of jobs, clerical jobs, procedural jobs, routine jobs that a machine, a robot can do will be automated. Now, as you said, the most competitive skills will be now these cognitive skills, these soft skills, the ability to think, to connect, to influence, to excite. Because a robot cannot excite me. The ability to jazz people, to create a vibe, to set the tone, I think that becomes now very critical. And that, as a professional, is your only sustainable competitive advantage. Because then there are things that AI can never do, or technology can never do. So as you build your career, where are you bending and leaning? Are you leaning on things that people can automate and just from the background press a button and it's done? Or you want to make yourself so indispensable that your world cannot exist without you? So I think that becomes your competitive advantage.
Right there, right there. So for a young person out there, are there specific skills, either soft skills, people skills, that you would advise them to adopt right now before they're made irrelevant in the workplace?
I think one of the very, very first skills I will talk about would be interpersonal skills.
Interpersonal skills.
You know, that's what you call humanness. Call it emotional intelligence. Call it, it has many names, but that ability to connect with human beings, that ability to make people feel important, to make people feel great, to make people feel heroic. When you walk in the room, you bring life. You know, in a cold room, you are the sunshine. You know, in a hot room, you are the fresh air that comes in there. Those are things technology cannot do. So I think it's about also likability, Mabel. They say there's an element in business called likability. People do business with people they like. People do business with people they feel comfortable around with. You're a woman. They say sometimes women don't marry men because men don't marry women because of their beauty, but they marry women because of how they feel around them. So that again, I don't know how true. because beauty is not sustainable. When you look at beauty for long, then it stops being that beauty. But it's about the environment. So I say, creating that environment, that ambience, that vibe, that technology cannot.
I've also heard about people buying people. So I come to buy your product because of a specific person, or I come to this particular bank because it's a teller that I love for them to serve me.
Absolutely. That will become a very competitive advantage. Like Maya Angelou said, people forget what you said. People forget what you did and what you gave them. But they never forget how you made them feel. So AI can't give me feelings. Technology has no emotions. I think the people that will master feelings and emotions and human relations stands out, becomes the most prized treasure in the room.
Wow, that was an amazing discussion. Thank you so much, Mr. Pepe.
Thank you, Mabel.
Next time.
Thank you. So that was Ask Pepe with Christine Mabel. We could have more and more and more to share. Every Tuesday night, kindly get your seats to listen to more answers from critical and very trending questions of our generations. We will be right back.